It appears the leaked City Connect jerseys are actually real. We got this new leak today that shows what looked to be the Red Sox new City Connect jerseys, the Green Monster City Connects. The only difference is the number now is that scoreboard yellow, which I actually really like. I like these jerseys, and a lot of people were saying that they were going to be absolutely horrible, but you let me know in the comments. Do you like the new City Connect jerseys? Obviously, we had the Marathon Yellow jerseys that are now a part of the rotation, the regular rotation, but you let me know. Do you like these jerseys? Y for yes, N for no. Get down in the comments and let me know. It's the Mid-Sox, ladies and gentlemen. That's who we're talking about on today's edition of the Red Sox Rundown. Currently, your Boston Red Sox sit first in Major League Baseball in one-run losses, first in Major League Baseball in blown saves, first in Major League Baseball in errors, and second in Major League Baseball in strikeouts. And they currently sit at 500 like we are so accustomed to over the past 4 seasons. In today's video, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to examine what I would do right now if I ran the Boston Red Sox. If I was Alex Cora, if I was Craig Breslow, I've got 5 moves that I would make to hopefully, potentially, get the Red Sox back into their winning ways. Because this team on paper has so much more talent and so much more potential than they are showing on the field right now. And yes, a few injuries have gotten in the way that have kind of soiled some of the plans, but that doesn't matter. This team should be so much better than they are. They should be at the top of the AL East, but instead, they are 4-9 in one-run games and are blowing leads with a terrible bullpen every single night. Let's get into the first change I would make. Everyone's saying it. Everyone is saying it. I would call up Roman Anthony. Baseball Pipeline finally announced that Roman Anthony was the number 1 prospect in baseball after they fraudulently gave it to Roki Sasaki this offseason, who was never going to make a start in the minor leagues. I found that absolutely insane. But Roman Anthony is now the number 1 prospect in baseball according to MLB Pipeline. And Nick Diamond of Nick Diamond Media had this tweet yesterday that I thought was very interesting. He said, in spring training, Alex Cora said the best 26 players would make the opening day roster. There is nothing anyone can say to convince me that Roman Anthony isn't one of the best 26 players in the organization. I just wish Cora and the front office had that energy still right now. I completely agree with Nick. 100% retweet, quote tweet, like, share, comment, all of it. Roman Anthony is one of the 26 best players in your organization. It's not even close. He's currently batting .305, has an OPS of almost 1,000. He's hit 5 home runs. He has 17 RBIs in 29 games so far this season. I think it is finally time to make the call. Look, we've been saying it all year. They got to develop a little bit more. They've got to mature a little bit more. That's what Craig Breslow said in that interview last week. He said there are little minute things that we really want to refine before the likes of Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer get called up. But I'm going to ask you this question because everyone's going to answer the same way. If one of the starting outfielders in the Red Sox starting outfield got injured tomorrow, would Roman Anthony not be called up the next day? The answer is yes. So I think it's time to make the call. And no, he's not playing first base. Roman Anthony is not playing first base. I know that I had people in the comments this weekend saying, Jack, let's just put Roman Anthony at first base. No! And according to Woo Sox manager Chad Tracy, we are not putting Roman at first base. It's not happening. He needs to get called up to the big league roster, not to play first base. So now that asks a very interesting question. I'm going to ask you guys. Who does Anthony replace? I have my ideas. If I were running the Red Sox, I would say, David Hamilton, you're really awesome, but we're going to move you down to AAA. Cedon, you've been great. You're about to become a super utility man, and Roman Anthony's going to get called up and placed in the outfield. That's what I would do, but you let me know. If Roman Anthony gets called up, who does he replace on the roster? Let me know down below in the comments right now. My next thing is, I'm ripping the Band-Aid off. Carlos Narvaez is your starting catcher. And I don't even think it's relatively close. Joey, if you want to go to that last photo you were on, that's actually the one I want to show real quick. The defensive run saved. This was a graphic put out by the Red Sox last week. Carlos Narvaez is tied for second right now with 6 defensive runs saved in all of baseball, not just catchers, all position players. Tied for second with defensive runs saved with 6. That is highly valuable considering the biggest issue in terms of the catcher position in the last few years has been defense. Carlos Narvaez deserves the starting role. And if you compare the stats, Connor Wong missed half the season so far with a broken pinky, but when he played, it's not even comparable. Carlos Narvaez hitting .214 compared to 133. He's got an OPS of 636 compared to 369. 3 home runs to 0, 10 RBIs to 0, 21 Ks. Yes, you want to get down on the Ks to 9 for Wong. And again, Wong's got a smaller sample size, but Narvaez has taken the opportunity, and I will take the large net positive defensively, even if he's not hitting at even a league average level. I mean, I think he's hitting fine. He's coming up clutch when he needs to. He came up clutch in yesterday's game and scored a few runs for the Red Sox. But I will take the large net positive defensively because, call a spade a spade. Connor Wong has not been good defensively. He's gotten better this year, but that better is from really not good. So why are you not giving the majority share of starts to by far your best defensive catcher you've had in years? I would take that large net positive, and I would make it abundantly clear that Carlos Narvaez is your starting catcher. The next change I would make is I would bring Luis Guerrero back up to the Major League roster. I don't know why he was the one to get sent down when Brendan Bernardino got taken off the bereavement list and back onto the Major League roster. I don't get it because in the 4 innings he's pitched in Major League ball this year, he's only given up 1 hit, he's struck out 3, and given up no runs. Why we didn't keep Guerrero on the roster, I don't know. It needs to happen because he, so far this season, has been your most consistent non-Aroldis Chapman reliever. So why would you take the hot hand out of your bullpen and let Justin Slayton and Garrett Whitlock crumble for 3 straight games? You've blown 3 saves in the last week to the hands of Justin Slayton and Garrett Whitlock, who I still have faith in, but ride the hot hand. Luis Guerrero is the hot hand, so he should be up on the big league roster right now. Do you guys want Red Sox watch parties? I did some watch parties for the World Series last year on my main Chat Sports channel, and they were a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. And now that we are starting to grow, I've considered pitching to the bosses, doing some crochet day watch parties, maybe Red Sox Yankees watch parties. But we got to get to 2,000 subs ASAP if you want that to happen. We just passed 1,600 subs yesterday. Thank you all so much. If you want Red Sox watch parties, which I think would be a lot of fun, hit that subscribe button. We also got news, rumors, injury updates, all of the above right here on the Red Sox Rundown. So subscribe, don't miss any of it. We might get some watch parties in return. My next change that I would make, keeping Hunter Dobbins on the roster. This needs to happen. And I think they will. I think the writing's a little bit on the wall, but as long as Walker Buehler's on the IL, which I would suspect he misses 1, maybe 2 more starts. As long as Walker Buehler's on the IL, Hunter Dobbins needs to be on the team. In the 3 starts that he's had this season, he's pitched 16 2/3 innings. He's given up 18 hits, 8 runs, 13 Ks. Now, I will say, Jack, you're going to say, Jack, those 8 runs, blah, 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 blah. 4 of those runs came in yesterday's game. Or yesterday? No, 2 days ago. 4 of those runs came in the game 2 days ago. So I'm just going to keep it $150 with you. Hunter Dobbins needs to stay on this team as long as Buehler's on the IL. They need to stop moving him back and forth between Worcester. That type of consistency, he needs to have that type of consistency and routine at the big league level if he's going to be successful. He shoved the first 2 games he was up. This last game, he just didn't have enough time to get acclimated, and he struggled. So if I am running the Red Sox, I'm keeping Dobbins up on this roster. Honestly, probably even after Buehler gets back. I think Sean Newcomb gets sent down to Worcester, and you keep Hunter Dobbins on your big league roster. That's just me, though. I think Dobbins needs to stay and have at least a little bit of consistency until Walker Buehler is back. Last but not least, I would sign Anthony Rizzo. I would sign Anthony Rizzo. But Jack, Anthony Rizzo said he wouldn't play for the league minimum earlier this offseason. But Jack, you're wrong. That's what someone in the comments told me yesterday. That I did basically no reporting or no anything. That was months ago. He did. He did. His price tag was high. That's why he didn't sign with anyone in this last free agency period. That was months ago. We are in May now. Nobody's paying his asking price at this point. That's why he hasn't signed with the team. Nobody is going to pay the asking price because the last 2 seasons he has declined in production. So I'm sorry, Anthony Rizzo. I know you wanted a hefty payday, and I know you feel like you deserve a hefty paycheck, but let's look at reality now. It's May. You don't have a job, and the last 2 seasons, your production has gone down. I'm not saying he's going to sign for the league minimum. I don't think he's going to sign for a lot of money, though. And that's why he would be my top choice, because he would bring you average at best offense, which is a net positive over what Triston Casas was bringing you, and he would provide much-needed veteran leadership. Alex Bregman's great. Trevor Story's great. But this team has shown that even with those 2, they are still wildly inconsistent. If you bring in another veteran that has World Series experience, that knows how to win at the highest level, that is valuable. I don't care how many veterans are already in the clubhouse. Anthony Rizzo would be my top choice. Will they do it? I don't know. They seem pretty content with running Romy Gonzalez and some AAA bat as a platoon. But if Anthony Rizzo's there and he's willing to pay to play for a cheaper deal, that's a no-brainer for me. But you let me know. Be the GM. Be Greg Breslow. Would you sign Anthony Rizzo? I want you to type S if you would sign him. I want you to type P if you would pass. Let me know down below in the comments. That's where we're going to end it today, guys. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this edition of the Red Sox Rundown. Those are my 5 changes I would make if I were running the Boston Red Sox. Again, if you want Red Sox watch parties coming up within the next few weeks, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to have news, rumors, injury updates, recaps after every single Boston Red Sox video. If you bleed Red Sox baseball, make sure you hit that subscribe button.